Nice try, but the immortal Ladybug god shall not feast on my soul today. Welcome to another episode of Games Sensible and Bad. We play games slowly and sometimes as this crackhead. So I'm going to be really honest, this is attempt number 2 to record this episode. The last attempt ended in complete and abject failure, with my audio levels really jacked up. So, very early on here, I'm going to throw in a quick break. I'm going to check my audio levels, and then I'm going to jump back in. By the way, the loading screens are still pretty long. Okay, here we go. Alright, got some crafting completed. What were we working on? A marble plank and 2 bronze pipes. Well, you're somewhat in luck. Is this where I make a marble plank? Nope. It's in the same place as the wooden boards. Hold on. We don't need these wooden boards right now. But I would like a marble plank, thank you. Alright, so, we're early in the morning. Let us go and make a little list of to-dos for the day. Let's start by consulting our little journal. Okay, so we still have the mission to build the bridge to Amber Island. Emily would still like us to build a planting box. That seems unlikely. And we need 5 wooden boards to fix a fence. So why don't we start by turning that in? Seems it's right here. So one of the chill things I really like about this game is if you have a particularly bad day where you don't accomplish everything you want to do, you can go back and reload. So when I screwed up the recording levels last time, I was, notably upset because obviously I've wasted a whole bunch of time, but the nice thing is the game allows me to load back a day or 2 and be able to re-record. If you're playing for yourself, maybe you want to re-record the episode, replay the day to get a better grasp on what you're supposed to do. We met Dawa. Oh, thank you. This treat farm will be back in business in no time. Come on, at it. Let's get busy. Let's get at it.
Huh?
I'm sorry. That needed to happen. Okay, so let us go grab our commission for the day and see what's available. One of the questions from Katie at Take Your Time Gaming was, how does it pace out, right? Because obviously you can see the little timer going there in the corner, and it does give it the illusion that you are under a pretty tight time constraint. And I have to say, other than running into rocks, because I'm unable to steer my character, I think one of the things this game does really well is not pushing you to have to blitz everything. So one of the things with Harvest Moon that I always felt was a miss is I felt like it pushed you to do everything really fast. If you didn't act on things, sometimes options would be closed off to you. Higgins. What do we got? 6 stone stools for whoever you are, Alice? That's not terrible. 3 trap boxes, that will not happen today. 2 copper blades for At It. I'm going to be really honest, this is way easier. We're going to do 6 stone stools. You don't ever feel like things are immediate. Your commissions give you a really long time frame to complete them, and when you get assigned quests, those assigned quests don't generally have a fixed end time. There's one that's coming up at some point that we'll talk about and why it's a little bit of an exception. But it's almost like one of those things that doesn't really matter. So you'll see why I don't necessarily get offended by it. So we need 6 stone stools. Well, I guess we can... nope, don't have enough wooden boards. I can make 67. I think I'll make 6. Thank you. Oh, look at that. I got like the Zelda, hold the item over your head pose. Alright, marble plank. Alright, let's move the item. Right there. And let us make this skiver, I believe. Leatherworking skiver. Yes, very good. We're going to put him right here to make a little alley to work off of. We can't extend forward, but we can sort of extend side to side when it comes to our farm. So this is a good permanent place for this. What do we got? Nothing really to it right now. Okay. We should just kick on those boards. We really, really should. We're going to need a ton of boards anyways, so let's just key up 10 more boards. And we will use the handy-dandy map to be able to try and locate who we need to go talk to. Alice is on Main Street. Okay, very good. I don't use this map nearly as much as I should, and it does give you a sense of all the things we haven't actually dealt with yet. It's quite impressive. Alright. Fishing spot. Yes. So we can't use any relics? So here's the little Church of the Light synopsis. So why can't we use any relics? What are you gonna say, like? Okay. I already got bored with that. Alright, hey, there's Alice. Hey, Alice, did you want a whole bunch of rocks? Oh, apparently I haven't met you yet. Here's your commission. I have been a huge help. I'm glad you realize that. Alright, so we are doing pretty well in cash, which is good because we are going to start to invest in some much more expensive stuff. And the reason I want to invest in some expensive stuff is I'd like to get our capabilities up significantly higher before we kick off the next round of like global events. So as soon as we finish the bridge, it's going to basically set in motion a series of events. I would like to circumvent that a little bit by pre-upgrading my farm. Now normally I would just blitz out all the stuff that, you know, is sort of like mandatory. But I think we're going to go after some of the optional stuff so that we can take a look at it, because some of the stuff, honestly, I haven't even messed around with that much in my personal playthrough. So we have a home, we have an assembly station. The assembly station is one of the ones that I like to blitz out. Reason being, it allows more larger constructs to be built, but it requires an iron bar, which we don't have access to. A better workshop, I should say. A better workshop is 20 boards and 5 old parts, but as you see, it allows us to make bronze and iron swords. Obviously, that's awesome. And iron axes and iron pickaxes. Again, obviously, that is awesome. So I think we're going to go after this, but we need 20 wooden boards and 5 old parts. I think we have a lot of that. Additionally, we can make a coop, which is made with boards and iron bars. We can make a shed, which is ironwood, hardwood, and bronze pipe. A stable, or we can change our gates around. So these are purely basically cosmetic, but they are, you know, nice things that we'll do at some point regardless. So that is our mission and goal for future episodes, is to get the workbench upgraded first, and then I'm thinking we start with a coop. Honestly, I've done almost nothing with the animals because everything I've read online says the animal handling is not a profitable venture to go down relative to just going and hitting things with an axe or with a pickaxe. Alright, so my Joy-Cons are a little jacked up. I think I need to mess around with them a little bit. Let's see where we're at with everything else. Alright, we have one board done. It's not terrible. And by not terrible, I mean that's pretty terrible. What are we gonna do while we wait? Maybe we go cut some trees? Or maybe we go hit some stuff with pickaxe. Oh, we did forget to deal with this stuff. Alright, we gotta keep our forges forging along. Get it? Forging along. Yeah, this is one thing about this game. You can honestly never have enough of everything. And if you're not maxing out all of your production mediums, you are making a tremendous mistake because you are obviously not making something you should be. Alright, I don't have any wood. Okay, so that pretty much decides that. We are gonna go and cut some wood. So this is one thing about this game that I will say that depending on your personality type and what type of games you enjoy, you might find horrifically tedious. But this game basically turns into, let's say, 60% resource management. If you like sort of gathering resources and keeping track of how much stuff you have to work with, yada yada yada, this is going to be right up your alley and you're going to have a great time. If you are one of those people who could not care less about that and just want to sort of like hack and slash your way through, oh yeah, not for you. Not for you, and I can't warn you enough not to pick it up. Because basically, if you have a day where you go to bed with any energy, you've probably misspent your day. You can always be going to get another thing, or another 10 things, or another 100 things. Yeah, look at that, hardwood. Need a better axe. Okay. So yeah, so you should always be just burning down your energy every single day, day after day. And if you really want to optimize, you burn down your energy as quickly as possible after completing some commissions, and then move on to talking to the people that you're trying to befriend. The friend thing in this game does take quite a bit of time, so it is a lot like Stardew Valley in that way. You don't just instantly become friends because of proximity. You have to actually earn it by going through sort of questy type deals. We're gonna punch a ladybug in the face now. Oh, this is so satisfying. Now you're dead. These gloves just make me so angry. I do not appreciate the gloves. In my other files, I have a pretty bomb sword, and that pretty bomb sword is pretty much 100% of why I'm alive. It sort of works a lot like this racket, except you get a sort of a big attack at the end of a lot of your things. So this racket is nice because it allows me to sort of just burn people. But there are better options out there. Okay. Well, that was some fun aggression taking out. What are you, a Mrs. Ladybug? Okay. Oh, did I just catch you like in a? Oh yes, I think I've broken this enemy, and I think I'm gonna be able to burn down this level 25 enemy like no big deal. All right, we're not gonna stop attacking. It just healed itself for 75. That's a problem. Oh god, it's actually healing faster than I'm damaging it. Alright, we're just gonna run away. Nice try, but the immortal ladybug god shall not feast on my soul today. Yeah, the other thing about the game is, you know, sometimes there's things like that that just don't make a whole lot of sense. Like, why are you gonna spawn in a thing that I literally can't defeat within the first month of the game? Things like that. You know, just don't necessarily make a ton of sense, but it's just super chill. What else are we gonna do today? Well, let me finish my thought on. Oh yes, super good. Let me finish my thought on grinding in this game. So there's basically no day that you should ever end with any energy whatsoever. Yes. Oh no. And the reason is in Stardew Valley, what they did to make it so you weren't just constantly doing that is they punished you, especially when you're doing multiplayer, by taking it out of everyone's treasury. Thank you, Katie. They implemented it where you know, basically had to pay a little bit if you got knocked out because you were too tired and you were out too late at night. In this game, there's no issue with burning your energy to 0. You can't overburn your energy. In other words, you have a limited pool. I have 40-ish left. And once that's gone, you just can't do actions anymore. And that might seem balanced on the surface, but if you think about it, it just immediately tells me that I, 1, didn't need to manage my energy pool, and 2, As long as I can go and find something to eat to restore energy, I am a-okay. So burning it down to 0, completely fine. Then going and grinding out for some time to find things to harvest or eat to make you better, also fine. There's basically no reason to not just go and grab literally anything and anything you can, shove it in your mouth, and call it a day. So I can't remember if these herbs restore energy or if they restore health. I'm hoping it's energy. I'm going to shove them all in my mouth. No, it's health, of course. Maybe it was one of you guys or something? You? Nope. You? Nope. Yeah, nice try. I'm just gonna keep running. Maybe you? Snake berries, that's gonna be it. Yeah, there's nothing to stop me in my 3 energy from going and finding a couple of snakeberry plants, shoving all those snakeberries right in my mouth hole, and calling it for the day. Which I feel like might be a little bit of a miss on the developer's part, because they're still HP? That's a bummer. And maybe it's fishing I need to do. Fishing might be the meta strat for that. Well, we're going to queue up the rest of these for the day, and sort of round out what we want to do in the next episode. Obviously, this episode definitely could have gone better, and we could have probably accomplished a heck of a lot more. Unfortunately, you know, we did productive things like completing actual missions, which is not something we ordinarily do a whole bunch of. So that's sort of an interesting side note. Let's do a fast exchange really quick. Come on, Jared. There we go. Yeah, we don't generally do a whole bunch of really, strongly efficient things around here, but every so often we do, and I gotta feel good about that. What can we do? What can we do? Well, I guess we make that plant box and go turn that in. Right, we have all the ingredients for that. I need animal poop. Okay. Well, what a way to end an episode. I'm going to find poop. Interesting. So, next time I'm thinking, if we don't finish this box, we definitely finish the box and call it a day. Feces? Feces? Any feces? I know I get feces if I murder these guys, but apparently I don't have enough energy to do that, so that's a bit of a shame. Nope, guess not. Well, we'll check one more place before we call it. The obvious place where one would check for feces is a animal pasture. If this animal pasture doesn't have any, then there is a backup animal pasture where we might be able to find some poop. The game is, decent looking. So to say decent. I enjoy it from the perspective of it being a sort of fantasy-ish style that I particularly like, but I can completely understand commentary that people aren't true in love with the looks here. It's one of the things I think that Stardew Valley does get a little bit of benefit on, is the fact that that might be enough right there. Being a two-dimensional game, sprites always naturally look 100 times better. So when you're playing a sprite-based game, you can really give your character some pop without putting a ton of effort in. Whereas this obviously has like a three-dimensional character generator. So I'm able to make a crackhead who looks like this, and someone might say, well, that looks terrible. Your crackhead character looks terrible. I'd say, no, my crackhead character looks exactly the way that I rolled them, and God bless the game devs for giving me the ability to roll crackhead. Ah, boy. Things you were never expected to say on a video. Alright. Look at this. How productive are we today? We just took a whole bunch of crap in soil and stuffed it in a box, and then we pretended like it was actually an accomplishment. Can I return this to you now? I have to actually harvest from it? Son of a bee. Oh, that's the worst. Okay, where are we gonna plant this? God, did they make these bigger? I feel like they made these a lot bigger. Good lord. Put it right here. Alright, press L to check the crop status. Press Y when you clip it to plant. Okay. That's the name. Press A to remove unripe crops. And you also press A to harvest ripe crops. So you just don't want to harvest them until they're ripe. And if you hold fertilizer and press Y, you apply the fertilizer. Okay. Is that it? Okay, apparently I need to plant a plant. I feel like they made these a lot bigger. I feel like in Mother File these are a heck of a lot smaller. Which is probably for the best, because I feel like it's a little more balanced being large. Feed me some fertilizer too. Alright, so I put the seeds in. The animation is terrible. And then I put the fertilizer on. And we're going to go for a maximum yield here. Boom. And in 2 days, good lord, 2 whole days in this game, that's forever, it'll be ready. Unfortunately, that means we're not going to be able to complete our quest for today. But we can look to the future, and the future involves... for it. Bridgeheads, which we need copper pipes for, and hardwood planks. We need 2 of these, so we need 6 copper pipes. 6 copper pipes. That's not nothing. Alright, well that pretty much depletes my copper reserves. But yeah, we are on our way to at least starting the first mission, the first serious mission. We could buy an extension for our farm. That'll cost us 1,500 gold. So we're probably not going to do that today. I think this has been pretty productive. We are out of energy. We have completed a commission, completed another quest, and started down the path of completing another quest, which is probably the most productive we've been. Our person still continues to look like they've had a really rough night out every single night for an extended period of their life. And we have an extensive collection of materials going on simultaneously, which is actually super nice because it means in the future we're not going to be struggling so much for resources like brick that take 4 flippin' ever. Keep harvesting these up. Harvesting these up. And I think those should be good to go. So alright, thank you so much for watching as always. This has been another great day at Portia. I'm going to, I think, start doing a little bit more editing and perhaps doing these 2 days at a time. That way we're able to showcase a few more commissions and a few more activities, and maybe cutting out some of the walking back and forth, but keeping some of the conversations and whatnot in. If you like the idea, definitely let me know. And hey, if you like the video, definitely, hey, drop a comment, like it, and let me know if you want to see more of My Time at Portia. By the way, it's getting late, and I should get some rest. So on that note, thank you so much for watching, and have a great night.